Right then, White's faithful. Get yourselves comfortable because what I'm about to tell you will have you jumping off your sofas, calling your mates, and probably checking your phones every 5 minutes for the next update. We've got 3 absolutely massive stories breaking simultaneously that could completely reshape how Daniel Farke's men attack the Premier League this season. Picture this. While you've been sweating about our transfer activity, 3 seismic events have been unfolding behind the scenes at Elland Road. We're talking about a Welsh wizard making controversial long-term commitments, a mercurial French striker who could be the missing piece of our attacking puzzle, and a towering Nigerian playmaker who's literally refusing to train because he wants to join the Premier League revolution. I'm not even joking. One of these stories involves a player who's so desperate to make the move that he's gone on strike. Another features our beloved winger in a contract situation that's got the Whites faithful absolutely divided on social media. And the third could see us hijacking a Crystal Palace star for an absolute bargain. Smash that like button right now! If you're ready for this roller coaster, drop a comment telling me which story you think will be the biggest game changer. And don't you dare forget to subscribe because you'll want to be first to know when these deals actually happen. The question burning in every Leeds fan's mind right now, are we about to witness the most dramatic 48 hours in our recent transfer history? Let's dive into the first bombshell that's already got Elland Road buzzing. Boom! Here we go with the first revelation, and it's all about our 2025 Player of the Year, Dan James. The Welsh wizard has just put pen to paper on a brand new 4-year contract extension that will keep him in Leeds White until 2029. But here's the twist that nobody saw coming. The Whites faithful are absolutely divided about whether this is genius business or a catastrophic mistake. Now listen to this. James has actually taken a pay cut to stay at Elland Road. You heard that right. Our Player of the Season has literally sacrificed money to stay with us through this Premier League campaign. The man had just 1 year left on his deal, and instead of cashing in elsewhere, he's committed his prime years to our cause. But here's where it gets spicy and why social media is absolutely exploding right now. Some fans are calling this the best business of our transfer window, while others are pulling their hair out asking why we've given a 27-year-old speed merchant a contract that takes him to age 31. One fan absolutely nailed the concern. I think him extending is the correct decision, but that seems like far too long to be given a player whose game relies on his speed and intensity. Will his hamstrings be the same once he gets to 30? Brutal honesty that. The numbers don't lie either. James has been phenomenal in the championship with 29 goals and 25 assists in 109 appearances. But step up to the Premier League and those numbers drop significantly to 12 goals and 13 assists in 106 games. That's the reality check that's got some supporters nervous about this long-term commitment. Another fan perfectly captured the skepticism. Put him in a jacket that will distract them from the lack of transfer activity. Ouch! The timing of this announcement, with our other transfer business moving slower than a Sunday league referee, has raised some serious eyebrows. But hold up. Before you make your mind up about this James situation, you need to hear about the French striker who could be arriving to make this contract extension look like absolute genius. Right, this is where things get absolutely mental. While everyone's been debating James's contract, Crystal Palace have just thrown Odsonne Edouard onto the transfer market. And I'm telling you right now, this could be the signing that makes everything click for Daniel Farke's revolution. This is the same Edouard who Neil Lennon once described as mercurial during his Celtic days, where he absolutely terrorized Scottish defenses with 87 goals in 179 games. We're talking about a striker who scored 6 Champions League goals in one season and banged in 29 goals in all competitions during his peak year. Here's the beautiful part. Palace are ready to listen to offers for the 27-year-old Frenchman, and they can't possibly expect more than the $15 million they paid for him back in 2021. With his contract running out in 2026, this could be daylight robbery if we move quickly. But listen to this statistic that'll blow your mind. Edouard has scored 18 Premier League goals for Palace, but here's the kicker. He's only started 55 Premier League games. That means most of his goals have come as a substitute. Imagine what this man could do with a full season as our main striker. The timing is absolutely perfect too. We've signed Lucas Mecha on a free, but let's be honest, fans have mixed feelings about a striker who's already failed to impress in England before. Edouard represents Premier League experience, proven quality, and most importantly, he's entering what should be his prime years. Think about it. At 27, he's the perfect age to lead our attack for the next few seasons. While other strikers we've been linked with, like Nikola Kristovic, could cost us 30 million, we could potentially land Edouard for around 10 million. That's incredible value in today's market. But here's what's really got me excited about this possibility. Barca has been conservative with his spending so far, with Xhaka Bijo's $15 million fee being our biggest outlay. Edouard fits perfectly into that budget-conscious approach while giving us genuine Premier League quality. The question every Leeds fan should be asking, could this be the signing that makes Dan James's new contract look like absolute genius? Because if Edouard is creating chances and James is finishing them, but wait until you hear about the third story. A Nigerian international who's literally gone on strike because he wants to join the Premier League party. Lads and lasses, this final story is absolutely unbelievable. While we've been talking about Dan James and Odsonne Edouard, there's been a 6'3" Nigerian international attacking midfielder sitting in Spain who's so desperate to join the Premier League that he's literally boycotting training. Meet Cristantus Uche from Getafe, a 22-year-old powerhouse who perfectly fits Daniel Farke's vision of bringing in taller, more physical players to close that quality gap with other Premier League teams. This lad has been granted permission to miss training because Leeds United, Brighton and Wolves are all circling like sharks. Spanish outlet AS is reporting that when Getafe traveled to Valencia for pre-season training on Monday, Uche was nowhere to be found. He also skipped training last week because his future is completely up in the air. This is a player who wants the Premier League that badly. Here's what makes this absolutely fascinating. We've been willing to activate his $21 million release clause, and we've apparently gotten further in negotiations than Atletico Madrid and Newcastle United. His agent has been talking up a summer move, and Spanish media are saying his desire is specifically to move to the Premier League. Getafe manager Jose Bordalás has described Uche as fabulous and admitted it was a risky gamble to sign him given his lack of top-tier experience. But look what happened. 4 goals and 6 assists and 33 La Liga appearances for a player who can operate as a box-to-box midfielder, attacking midfielder, or as a number 9. This is exactly the type of versatile, athletic player that Farke has been targeting. At 6'8", Uche brings the physical presence we've been crying out for, but he's also technically gifted enough to create and score goals from midfield. The timing couldn't be more perfect either. Brendan Aronson is literally our only contracted attacking midfielder, and he struggled in patches last season. Uche represents youth, potential, and immediate Premier League quality, all rolled into one package. But here's the kicker that's got me absolutely buzzing. Spanish reports are saying he's expected to move to England, with Leeds, Wolves, and Brighton as the primary suitors. When a player is willing to skip training and force a move, you know something big is about to happen. Conclusion: the perfect storm that could define our season. White's faithful, are you feeling what I'm feeling right now? Because these 3 stories aren't just random transfer updates. They're pieces of a puzzle that could completely transform how we approach the Premier League this season. Think about it. Dan James commits his prime years to Leeds with a contract that shows incredible loyalty and ambition. Odsonne Edouard could provide the proven Premier League striking threat we desperately need. And Cristantus Uche represents the perfect blend of youth, athleticism, and versatility that Farke has been building towards. The beautiful thing is how these 3 stories interconnect. James's pace and creativity from the wings could be the perfect complement to Edouard's clinical finishing in the box. Meanwhile, Uche's height and physicality could give us that midfield presence we've been missing, while also providing another goal threat from deeper positions. We could be looking at a completely transformed attacking unit, one that combines Premier League experience, championship pedigree, and La Liga versatility, all in one devastating package. But here's my question for you. The heartbeat of this incredible club. Which of these 3 stories has got you most excited? Are you backing the James contract extension as a masterstroke? Are you dreaming of Edward banging in goals at Elland Road? Or are you hoping we land Uche before Brighton or Wolves can hijack the deal? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because I want to know what the Whites faithful are thinking. Smash that like button if these stories have got you as hyped as I am. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell because something tells me this is just the beginning. The next 48 hours could define our entire Premier League campaign. Are you ready for the ride, Leeds faithful? Marching on together.